Questions from Dave Vassay. Go ahead, Dave.
I refuse to answer this question.
That mask looks good on you. You should keep it.
Yeah. What's your question?
How big of a victory is it for the sport to be able to get to opening day?
Yeah, this is a day that, if I'm being completely honest, I wasn't 100% certain, we were going to see happen this year. And the fact that we are here and the sacrifices and choices and responsibility that players across the league have taken to ensure that we're getting to this opening day is unbelievable. And I just got to commend everyone around the league, players, coaches, staff, medical teams, for helping us, get to this point, get to this day.
Justin, as far as the behind the scenes of players trying to get what they need as far as treatment to bounce back from one day to the next, are you comfortable that'll be able to be worked out during the season?
As far as in the training room?
Yeah, whatever it was at your disposal in years past, how different is it, and will that affect players getting on the field and bouncing back from game to game?
I don't think it'll affect. It's definitely going to be an adjustment because the time frame at the field is shortened a little bit. So we're talking about in a normal season for a 7-10 game, I would usually get here around 12:30, and today we weren't allowed to come into the stadium until 2. So it definitely condenses it a little bit. And but if anyone is equipped for it, I think our staff and this clubhouse is, and guys have been doing a good job of getting in, getting their treatment, wearing their masks, doing what they have to do, and then getting out and letting the next guy go.
Thank you.
Next question is from Alvin Gonzalez. Go ahead, Alvin.
Hey, Justin. So this is going to be your 7th season with the Dodgers. I know you don't need me to remind you that, but just wanted to get your thoughts on just what you think about the position that the organization has put itself in since you got here, where they're sort of seen as having this sort of unending contention window, and a guy like Mookie Betts can just come here, not spend much time here at all, and just decide like, look, I don't need to go to free agency. I don't need to play this season out. I'm good here. This is where I want to be. Like, has that impressed you in any way, or has that resonated with you in any way, just where they put themselves in just for what they've done previously and for the long term?
Yeah, it's just a situation where, and I think I've hopefully done this enough and made our front office and ownership group aware of it enough that, we applaud them for every year. When we come into a spring training situation, we have high standards and high expectations, and the goal is legitimately to win a World Series. So I know a lot of teams talk about it, but, every year I've been here, I think it's been a realistic goal for us, and we put ourselves in a situation to win a championship. And, nothing's changed this year. And obviously the commitment to Mookie and committing to that caliber of a player just goes to show how committed our front office and our ownership group is to bringing that championship here to LA.
What have been your thoughts, Justin, just sort of being around Mookie, however limited that might have been, to just sort of what about this franchise resonated with him that he wanted to stay here?
Well, I mean, I can't speak for Mookie. I can speak for myself. It's just a situation where the culture here is great. The staff that is around us are all, their give a shit is off the charts. Everyone wants to win. Everyone has one goal. It's a great culture, whether you're a veteran or a rookie, to come in this clubhouse and contribute and be a part of a team. And, I think, obviously, I think we made a good enough impression on Mook to commit to a long-term deal here and want to be a Dodger for the rest of his career.
Thanks, Justin.
Next question's from Dylan Hernandez. Go ahead, Dylan.
Hey, Justin, kind of piggybacking off that question a little bit. It sounds like a lot of what's been said, the way you guys have described Mookie in terms of his character and his professionalism, I think a lot of that could have been said or could still be said about Clayton Kershaw. And I was just kind of wondering, you obviously when you came here, when you first came to LA, obviously Kershaw was kind of at the peak of his power, so to speak. And I guess what I was wondering is how does that, when you talk about culture and stuff, how does having a star player with those qualities, how does that kind of affect the way the culture grows, and how does that affect, I guess, even say the lower level guys, on the roster?
Yeah, I'd say the one thing that stands out about Mookie, obviously anyone can read the back of his baseball card and understand that he's a great baseball player. But his desire for competition is off the charts. From day one in spring training, challenging guys and making practice competitive, all the way up until this summer camp, playing the inter squad games and making it a competition between the two teams, putting stakes on the line and playing for something. He always wants to play for something. He's not out there for fun. He plays to win. His competitive drive is unbelievable, and I guess that's a similarity to him and Clayton. The competitive drive to be the best and to win is off the charts.
And how does that affect the others on the team?
Yeah, it just raises the bar, raises the standards. You take a guy of his caliber and his ability, his talent, his track record, and it's easy to be like, oh, he's a great player, but then when you see him on a day in and day out basis and the work he puts in, whether it's in the cage or out on the field, defense, early work, just the responsibility that he takes upon himself to make sure he's doing the right things, that rubs off on other guys. It's kind of the I'd compare it to the Chase Utley effect. You go about it the right way. You be a professional, you lead by example, and guys kind of follow along.
Thank you, Justin.
Next question from Jorge Castillo. Go ahead.
Justin, you mentioned, the differences from a usual day. Does this feel like opening day?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Obviously, the elephant in the room, the one thing that's going to be missing is our amazing fans. But like I said earlier, there was some uncertainty as to whether we'd ever make it to an opening day with this pandemic. So the buzz, the excitement, the adrenaline, it's all there, and we're excited to get this thing going.
And just what was your reaction to the playoff format change? What do you think of that?
Yeah, I think it's something new. We knew there was going to be a lot of new stuff going into this season, and it kind of came down to the wire, but just kind of builds in a buffer in case a good team hits a little skid, and it gives them a chance to get in, and more playoff baseball, I guess, is better for the fans.
Thank you.
Next question is from Bill Plaschke. Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, Justin, what's the weirdest thing about all this? Is it the cardboard fans? Is it the mask? Is it the emptiness? What's the strangest thing about this whole environment?
Well, there's a lot of strange going on right now. For example, we just had a hitters meeting that went a little longer than 15 minutes. So in the middle of it, the room had to disperse and leave the room for a couple minutes and then come back in to make sure we were in line with the procedures and protocols for contact tracing. So that was a little weird. But probably the weirdest thing is on this opening day, we have, a handful of guys that are making their first opening day roster, and it's unfortunate and sad that, their families, their wives, loved ones aren't going to be able to be in the stadium in person to kind of share in this moment, because your first opening day is something that never leaves you, and it's something that's really exciting, and it's just unfortunate that you're not going to fully be able to share that with their family.
Thank you.
Next question is from Kerry Osborne. Go ahead, Kerry. Next question is from Bill Plunkett. Go ahead, Bill.
Justin, your first road trip next week will start in Houston. Back in January and February, you and your teammates expressed some pretty strong feelings about the Astros. I know that seems like a long time ago. Do those feelings just as strong, and will those games mean anything more or different?
Well, I think in this 60-game season, every game means a ton. So obviously, they're on the schedule. We're going to show up in Houston and do everything we can to beat those guys. And I don't think a lot of opinions or the way guys think has changed in this time. But at the end of the day, we're gonna go out and try to win ball games.
Do you wish you could be playing them in front of fans here?
Well, I mean, I wish a lot of things, Bill, but they don't all come true.
Thank you, Justin.
Next question's from Eric Steven. Go ahead, Eric.
Justin, with Dustin May getting the start tonight, is there anything you've noticed from him either in summer camp or this spring that he is either different or improved from last year?
Yeah, I just think with the more repetitions, the more times he gets out on the mound, the more comfortable he gets and settled in. And obviously this was kind of sprung on him a little last minute, which might actually benefit him. He's not spending 2-3 days leading up to this with all the anxiety and whatnot of, being the opening day starter. So I think it'll be a good thing for him to go out there. He obviously has electric stuff, and we're looking forward to him taking the ball and giving us a chance to win tonight.
Thank you.
Next question's from Michael Duarte. Go ahead, Michael.
Hey, Justin, I wanted to get your thoughts and opinions on two things. Following up on the playoff format, if you guys finish with the best record in baseball or in the National League like you did last year, is it fair to then have to face, a 3-game series that could decide your playoff fate moving forward? And wanted to get your thoughts on John Heyman predicting you as the NL MVP this season.
Well, to your first question, that's the format for everyone, and that's the way it is. Whether people think it's fair or not fair, that's the way it is. And we go about our business, trying to win one game at a time. So no matter what the series is, 3 games, 5 games, or 7, we're going to have to take care of our own business and not worry about what the format is to get through that. So obviously the longer series are probably a better fit for teams, but it is what it is. So we'll have to do what we have to do to prepare for that series and move on to the next round. And as far as John Heyman predicting me to be the MVP, I guess we'll wait and find out. Flattered, I guess.
I have one final question from Maria Sorrell. Go ahead, Maria.
Hey, JT, I was wondering if you've noticed, can you guys hear the pumped in crowd noise? And are you sort of noticing that? Does it matter? Is it helpful? What's your feeling on that?
It is definitely helpful. We played our first, I don't know how many inter squad games without crowd noise. And while it was fun to be able to talk crap back and forth from the field and hear everything, I think the crowd noise is great to kind of have that little bit of buzz of noise. And we definitely can hear it. And the Dodgers actually improved it a little bit. I think our first 2 games against the Diamondbacks, it was only coming out of the center field speaker. And if you notice against the Angels and tonight, you'll see speakers all around the stadium. So it's a little bit more of a surround sound feel. So I said it earlier, we're definitely going to miss our fans. There's no replacing them and their energy, but it is nice to have that crowd noise.